Hari Om and a very good morning to everybody. Welcome to 5th August and today's thought. We shall continue the qualities of Asthita Pragya as described by Lord Krishna in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Yesterday in the 59th sloka we discussed about that how Sthita Prajna who are established in their own soul, who are realized souls, they not only distract themselves from the world of objects by controlling their senses, but they also control their mind, which is the master of all the senses. So, easily and freely they remain in this world of objects without being attached and affected by this world of objects. They set a higher goal in their life and then lead a happy, joyful life in this world. So now in the 60, 61st, 62nd, three stanzas, Lord Krishna continues how to control senses, because he has given importance on controlling the senses so that one can go to a higher goal and one can reach the Supreme Self. So he says, Yatato hyapi kaunteya purusasya vipaschitaha Indriyani pramathini haranti prashabham manaha. Yatadaha, while practicing such self-control, practicing controlling the sense organs and mind, api, even, purusasya, of a person, vipaschitaha, one enrolled with discrimination, means one sthitaprajna purusha, who knows how to discriminate between a right living and being attracted by the senses. That kind of a person, pramathini, the turbulent, haranti, carry away, prashavam, forcibly, means the senses are so strong and turbulent that they can forcibly carry away the mind even of a person endowed with discrimination and practicing self-control. So our sense organs are so forceful, they are just like wild horses. They are reckless and impetuous. It's very difficult to discipline them, so it is not an easy task. Even the sadhakas who have to fight very strongly, who decide to have self-control and they proceed in the path of self-realization, even they also are attracted forcibly by these sense organs because they are like wild horses. So therefore, even aspirants of spiritual growth, they also indulge in the senses which are colored with lust and greed, strong desire, thereafter greed that attract them, and it becomes very difficult even for such people to follow the path of self-realization or sadhana. Senses have the power to destroy and derail the spiritual process of even the most well-intentioned yogis. So what about our ordinary people? So it is not that easy, it's a very difficult part. So then what to do if it is so difficult? If the sense organs are having so much power, they are so powerful. It is not the sense organs. Actually, as we have already discussed, it is the mind who is the master behind these five sense organs. Mind only searches for pleasure through the sense organs in the outside world actually. So if the mind is not controlled, there will be complete devastation and destruction. So then what to do? How to control this mind and the sense organs? Then in the next stanza, Lord says, तानि शर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आशितमत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. The disciplined individual, the person who is doing sadhana in order to get self-realization, that kind of person, because sometimes they are also affected by mind and sense organs. It is so powerful. So they should restrain their senses and sit with devotion to me. Here Lord said devotion with me. They should dedicate themselves to me. To me means to the Lord, to the Supreme Self. Having brought the senses under control, then he will be established in his wisdom and can become a Sita Prajna. So, here Lord says, how will it be possible to control the mind and sense organs? It will be possible only when we set a higher goal in our life. There must be a goal in everybody's life, higher goal. And we shall be determined to reach that goal, and we should stick to that goal. Otherwise, these all animals also getting birth and after that growing, gratifying their five sense organs and giving birth to children and just leading an ordinary life, and finally they are dying. So unless we have got a higher goal to stick to, then it is of course not a human being's life. So the last local Lord had said that the turbulent senses can ruin the mind. Here he prescribed the remedy of the impact of the senses. How can we come out of this actually? So one should set a higher goal and channel the mind and the sense organs towards that higher goal. Earlier also we had seen to it. Unless we have got a higher goal to stick to, the lower attachment, ashakti, is never going to go away. So the sense and mind will detach from the materialistic world only when they are shown a higher goal. So when you give them something higher, then only they will leave this lower indulgence in the objective world and to suffer actually. So this sloka hints at meditation. So Lord Krishna tells that this is a disciplined technique, how to get rid of the sense organs and the sense organs running towards the objective world every time, and then we suffer when we don't get. So fix your mind on a higher goal and concentrate on it, meditate on it. So he tells that you meditate on it. Meditate means you constantly think about that. Let your mind be on that higher goal. So Lord Krishna says to fix mind on that self, the Supreme Self, all pervading God. We can set, if we can't do that, we can do selfless goals we can keep in our life, like serving our parents, our family, our society, doing charitable work, serving the nation, being a patriotic, setting a higher goal. There are many higher goals that we can set, and that is the only way to tame your senses and control your mind and lead a happy life. So remain in this world, serve your own family, your own self. We can earn money, but always target a higher goal. That way our mind will not be vikshipta and sorrowful. Then the next stanza, what Lord is telling, ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्ते सुपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते. Lord Krishna tells, unless we set a higher goal is to reach the Supreme Self or to do many selfless activities. If we do not do, then what happens? He is telling, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. While contemplating on the objects of the senses, dhyayato, contemplation on, not on Supreme Self, on this sense organ, vishayan pumsaha, on the sense organs, through the sense organs, on the different objects, on the objective world. Sangastesu pajayate. So one develops attachment with the objects. It's quite natural when we keep on thinking about any particular object, so we get attachment. आसक्ति जैसे विषय प्रति से व्यक्ति प्रति से स्थान प्रति इवन गोटे जगह प्रति भी आम एत मोह हुए जे आम से जगह छाड़ी आउ गोटे कौटी जगह ट्रांसफर है कौन सी कारण गला भी आम एत दुखी हो जाऊ तो आम जदि कौन सी संबंध में बेसी चिंता करवा बेसी भाविबा ताले आम प्रति बहुत आसक्ति सृष्टि हुए धायतो विषयान पुंस संगस्तेषु पजायते. The attachment we develop actually. So when we are attached to certain things, then sangat sanjayate kamaha. So the more and more we are attached with, first we think over that, then we get attachment. And once we develop attachment, then from attachment, what takes forth? It is desire. Desire to get it, desire to get that, desire to get that. We cannot remain peacefully unless and until we acquire that thing, that person or whatever, because we desire to have it. And 90% cases we really cannot materialize our desire. Many cases it happens. So when we cannot fulfill our desire, so then from desire what comes out? Krodha. Kamat krodho vijayate. And then the anger that I did not get it. So we become so much angry that we destroy either ourselves or others. We get angry and we do. So krodho, kamat krodho vijayate. So the more we think about the objects, any object, the more attachment we shall develop actually. And if attachment and our desire thus gets fulfilled, very good, we become happy and we think we are joyful. But that leads to another attachment, that leads to another attachment. And it keeps on going throughout our life actually. And we never stop running after this. And our life ends with only running after all these things. We never can do something higher in our life. And we don't get the joy of doing that. So, and if it is not fulfilled, then it leads or turns to severe anger. So krodha or anger is created from the obstruction of our desire. When our desire is obstructed, then anger develops. So desire arises from attachment, and attachment comes from contemplating on the objects. If we go backward, desire arises from attachment. Attachment comes from when we contemplate on the objects. So contemplating on the pleasures which we may get from the objects, that leads downward to greed and anger, and we have a great fall in our life when we become greedy, and because we cannot gratify our greed, so we become terribly angry and then we destroy ourselves. So destruction takes place. So we see, suppose a new vehicle, new it has come, the cost is 1.5 lakhs and we desire to have it. So it goes on the road and we see, then we come back, we think over that in the night, I should have, we dream it, so that then attachment develops and we are so much attached, strong desire to get it actually. Then we tell our parents, I need it. Parents can afford it. If you cannot afford, then why did you give me birth? So they ask such questions actually that breaks the heart of the parents. But they don't understand, because the strong desire is there to obtain that vehicle. So when they don't get, then anger and breaking things at home and whatnot. And then they sometimes go and take drastic steps also. Then parents do anything and then they bring it with a broken heart. There are innumerable such examples in our lives. So, what happens after that when krodha, we get anger? In the next stanzas, Lord will tell tomorrow. After being terribly angry, what happens next? How do we destroy ourselves? Beautifully, Lord has told. And the source of all this is our gratifying senses. When our sense and organs and the mind runs towards this objective world and we can't control them, then what happens? That Lord tells here. So we should all know that how terrible is the result of gratifying our senses. So let us see tomorrow what more Lord Krishna tells about it. So let's think today over this and learn how to control our mind as well as the five sense organs. Hari Om.